What is up, gamers? It's Will777JP, and we are back with another one today. We are doing my top three games of Row 9, or Section 9, or Part 9, whichever way you want to call it. Last week, we did 8, which was this section right here. It had the Alan Wake. I talked about my top three, Banishers. I talked about Alan Wake. I talked about, Blasphemous and all that. But today, we are doing the following row right down here. So, for those of you guys that are new to the channel, I've been doing this series called my top three of each section. This is what I consider a section right here. This is another section, for example. This is another section. And the top three that I pick in this section are basically my top three games that I have that I enjoy the most out of this section or row, right? So I like to, and when I say my top, I mean games that I actually beat and games that I enjoyed for a multitude of reasons. Out of all the games that I played, the top three, which include, best music, story, character design, gameplay. It's a combination of all those things. So we'll go ahead and go over that today. But before I do, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate all your support. You guys have been phenomenal with me and supporting the heck out of me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And hit the comment section down below. Do you agree with my top three, or would you have picked a different top three? So let's get started. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the games in this section. Number one, we have Beyond a Steel City. Haven't even cracked it open yet. Oh, okay. Haven't cracked it open yet. Looked interesting, and I got it for super duper cheap. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Next one is Beyond Good and Evil. I actually own this game digital. I bought this game on Limited Run Games, and it took so long that by the time it came in, I had got the game on sale for like half off digitally. So like, you know what? I'll double dip there. Cyber Rush Cyberpunk. So this game is actually coming out on PS Plus, I think next week. So I'll probably check that out. Leave my copy unsealed there. Bramble, the Mountain King. Next we have Broad Sword, Warlord Edition. Haven't played it yet. Next we have Bugs Snacks. My son played the heck out of this game. We have Cat Quest 3. I love this Cat Quest series, man. Next we have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Then we have Call of Duty Vanguard, which, by the way, tomorrow we have Will It Play With No Internet featuring this game. It's actually a good one, so go check it out tomorrow. I think you're seeing this June 1st. This Will It Play will come out June 2nd. Next one is Modern Warfare 2. Then we have Modern Warfare 3. And by the way, all these Call of Duty games I bought on sale. I didn't spend more than $20 on not one of them, except for Cold War, which I got when I got my PS5. I think this was the first Call of Duty that came out with the PS5. Next, we have The Chant. Then we have Death's Door, which I got for real cheap as well because I already owned the digital copy. Or I got it through PS Plus. It's a monthly game, I believe it was. Chernobyl Light. Then we have Corvus. Clash Artifacts of Chaos. I actually have this thing sealed. I played the first time I ever played this game is I streamed it on the Portal PS Plus. Then we have the last two we have here is Coffee Talk 1 and Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus Butterfly. So I got this one on a stupid cheap sale. This one I pre-ordered. Just to give you an example of what I thought about these games. So now, let's go over my top 3. So, before I used to do just top 3 in no specific order. But some of you guys have recommended that I do them in specific order from 3 to 1. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. And I want you guys to hit the comment section. Would you do my order the way that I'm going to do it? Or would you pick completely different games based on this section right here? All right. So let's get into it, guys. So the very first one, or number 3. Number 3 of this row is going to be a surprise. And the reason I'm going to pick this one is not because of the game itself. It's because of what it did for me with other games. So number 3, Coffee Talk. Yes, that is my number 3 in this row, right? And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Let me set this up so you guys can see it. So Coffee Talk is a game. It's like a narrative game where you play as like a barista. And this world has all sorts of like weird creatures in it that come in and have coffee. Like you may have a vampire that comes in, or you know, just weird creatures like that. And they come in, you're like their bartender, where they go ahead and they spill their guts, they tell you their story. Sometimes you make inputs on what they should do. But the core of the game is a narrative game, so that's a lot of reading. But then you make their coffee. So they'll place their coffee order, you make it for them, which is a cool little mini game, which I really appreciate. The stories are interesting, you know, they're it's interesting, like, to hear their day-to-day life as a freaking werewolf and the things they have to overcome and stuff like that. But why I picked this one number 3, I mean, the music is decent, the character design is decent, the story, the gameplay is all decent. It's not the best, but it's decent, it's entertaining. But the reason I picked this game as number 3 is for what it did for me. Before this game, I would never have played a game like that. But because I got it for so cheap, and this is another game that I got from Mystic Ryan. He does this 30 platinums in 30 days videos where he would platinum basically 30 games in 30 days. And this was one of them. And as well as Cat Quest 3, or Cat Quest 1, that's what got me into it. But because of this game, when a friend recommended I play Doki Doki Literature Club, I decided to play it. All because of this game. Because I had a decent time with this game, I decided, you know what? Let me try let me try a different type of game like that. And man, Doki Doki Literature Club became one of my favorite games I've ever played. The narrative in that game is so phenomenal. And because of this game, it got me to play games like Fort Solis and The Invincible. So it just got me introduced kind of to a whole different type of genre of games that I just never would have normally have played. And I have a saying, I look for reasons to play a game. I don't look for reasons to not play a game. So because of this game, it got me introduced into more or different types of games, different types of genres that are similar to that. So I have to pick Coffee Talk. And that's why I went ahead and bought Coffee Talk Episode 2, you know? Now, this may not be the right type of game for you, but the one game may lead you to other games. Number 2 is going to be Bramble, the Mountain King. Another narrative type of game that I absolutely love. Now, this game, it's a very unique game. It's very story-based. Now, with Bramble, let me see. Let's read the description back here. Adventurous Ollie, a brave boy who set off to rescue his sister because Ollie, or it doesn't say because Ollie, tense, heart-pounding moments with high-end visuals, a beautiful yet dangerous world to explore. The reason I wanted to read this is because I want to say it's Eastern European folk tales. that this story's based around. So the boy you play as Ali, who is rescuing his sister, and throughout his journey, he's kind of playing through folklores. Now, to give you an example of the folklore, so you guys know Red Riding Hood, right? The wolf dresses up as the grandma, right? Three little pigs, right? Imagine that, but a Eastern European folklore. I just can't remember what they're called, but that's what intrigued me about the game. Is that imagine if this was made by an American with American folklore, you would see a game where you're Little Red Riding Hood, and or you're not Little Red Riding Hood, but you're a boy who's looking for his sister, and instead of Little Red Riding Hood, you all of a sudden are Little Red Riding Hood, and you have to overcome all those obstacles. So a very cool game. The visuals were so amazing, top notch. This is an indie studio, but man, did they really extend that budget to the very max. And writing is phenomenal. Gameplay is fun for what it is, but the most important thing of this game is that story, is that folklore, and the visuals, the character designs. Very cool game. And there's a few parts, man, where I was kind of scared. Not scared, but it's like, okay, there's a little like horror-ish aspect to the game. And then number 3, after I go over number 3, I'm going to give you guys some honorable mentions here. But number 3 is Corvus. Awesome game, y'all. Highly recommend this game. So, as I've mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention this, but if you guys noticed, I didn't really recommend Coffee Talk, right? I said Coffee Talk was a game where it led me to play other types of games that are kind of close to it in genre. And that was the point of that pick. My recommendation to you is, I don't recommend Coffee Talk. I mean, if you want to play it, sure, go ahead. I think you may enjoy it. But don't be scared to play a game that may open you up to other genres. Corvus, on the other hand, is a game I recommend. This should be in your collection. Now, Corvus is a great game. You're basically playing as a fighter jet pilot, except it's futuristic, otherworldly, and the jet itself, the airplane itself, it's not an airplane, it's a spacecraft, has an AI computer in it that is super advanced, very human-like, and you guys sync with each other to become the best fighting force you can be. Now, the story is super cool, right? You're fighting against this cult who kidnaps people and turns them into their cult and blah blah, right? But the gameplay is what is king here. Yes, the story is a lot of fun. It's very good, right? You have to pay attention to detail, otherwise you can't get lost a little bit. But the gameplay is what is fun. I'm a huge fan of Ace Combat. I just love that series. I love those games. This is the closest thing I have come to having as much fun, except I would say this is sometimes a little bit better because the story makes it better. But the gameplay is super fun. The world is, or the universe is so vast, man. I mean, I remember trying to get from point A to point B for a quest, and I would just hit the button, the autopilot button. I would set the controller down. I would go use the bathroom. I would go into the kitchen, grab a water. I will go to the bathroom, wash my hands. Then I would come back, and I'm still flying in the direction that I'm going with 2,000 kilometers left. Like, that's how big it is. The music is great. I mean, the combat is number one on this game. The story too, though. I don't want to make the story seem like it's not that good. It is a phenomenal story. I just think the gameplay is the best part of the game, but the story is a close second. Also, the art design in this game, to me, it's great. It's not super like cartoonish or anything like that. It's believable. It's very believable. The side quests that's another thing. We always talk about side quests, especially when we're talking about Ubisoft games, right? Like these, like Assassin's Creed, right? We talk about these games and we talk about how it's so bloated and all that. This game does have side quests. It's not extremely bloated, but the impressive part about this game, you can say, is the side quests, because side quests match with the story beats and what you're doing, and it links up with each other. Now, It could be something as simple, a side quest could be something as simple as, hey, help this freaking person find his cargo that is floating in outer space, right? But in another mission, you know that the people flying cargo have been getting attacked heavily by this cult freaking group, right? So when you're doing the side quest, you're thinking, man, how the hell did you get all this cargo spread out here? Well, this cult has been attacking the cargo dudes heavy, so that's what happened. He got attacked by the cargo. So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a direct link to the quest that you may be on, but it always is attached to the main quest. But man, awesome game, phenomenal game, highly recommend it. I think you should be playing this. You should own it if you do not own a physical copy, or if you do not own this game. Highly recommend it, bro. I really had a good time with it. Now, if you're not a fan of fighter jet type of games, you may not like it, but I still say go ahead, give it a shot. Now, to my honorable mentions, right? So the very first one, and the only reason this was not in the next game I'm going to talk about is not in my top 3 is because I haven't beat it. If I would have beat it, it would have been my top 3. Honorable mention here, Cat Quest 3. Guys, if you haven't played the Cat Quest games, you are really missing out. They are very fun, I don't want to say they're easy, but they're easy to play. You know what I'm saying? Cat Quest 3 did a ton of improvements from the first 2. You have naval combat in it now. It's just a very fun game, man. It's couch co-op as well if you choose to, which is a very underrated thing in my books. I love couch co-ops, but man, it is a very fun game. Go check it out. And another honorable mention is Bugsnax. Look, man, any game that can get my child to actually play from front to back, a single player game, gets a notch in my book, gets a thumbs up in my book. And this game did that. Not just did that, but it got my son playing multiple times. And I checked it out. It's a very cool concept. You collect kind of these Bugsnax, you solve these puzzles, you move the story along. The world is actually pretty good. The art style is phenomenal. It's a very unique game, and I highly recommend that. This is definitely a family game that you can play with your kids, with your wife, with just you. But games that can do that are good. Games that can bring your family together in front of the TV, in front of the console, is always a good thing to me, especially when it is good. So those are my 2 honorable mentions for today. Death's Door, I know a lot of people are going to be probably a fan of that game. I mean, it's cool. I'm not big into roguelikes. That's why I didn't put it in my top 3 or even my honorable mentions, but I am mentioning it now. Beyond Good and Evil, of course, it's a pretty good game. It's more of a cult classic than anything. And then, of course, you got the Call of Duty games. I mean, you know, I play the campaigns in these games, but over this generation, they just felt like they're lacking in so many different aspects that why even bother. And of course, the Chant, I haven't even played yet, which is a shame because I bought this game day one for like $30, and of course, the game has been on sale numerous times for half the price ever since then. And Chernobyl Light, it's actually another decent game that I like. It does things a little bit differently based to other, like, I don't want to say open world RPGs, but similar games like that. I just haven't beat it yet, so I can't give you my full recommendation on it. And then Clash of Artifacts of Chaos, I only played for a little bit. I didn't like it. I turned it off, never been back to it. But there y'all have it, man. Thanks so much for being here. Those are my top 3 with my honorable mentions. And like I mentioned earlier, would you have picked the same top 3? Probably not, right? If not, create your own top 3 out of this section that I have, and let me know what your top 3 would be. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget that tomorrow, Will It Play With No Internet, Call of Duty Vanguard will be up next. And I think you guys may be a little surprised of what happens in that video. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Keep it gaming.